to do a reaction video to the finale of the Mass Blast. Since I've been here and watched this entire thing go down, I can give you an honest assessment and review. So that's exactly what I intend to do right now. It has been one hell of an experience. These guys have put in everything they got, and not only doing the blast, their off time is spent creating exceptional content. I am impressed, especially
Mass
by Tony.
Blast 2022 Pattaya Thailand straight Cody versus Elon Muscular. Who will win the $5,000 by putting on the most amount of mass? But guess what? Me, Dr. Tony Huge, also did the Mass Blast. I put on a total of 22.6 pounds in 9 blasting days. I've already been this size before. I've already been bigger than this before, but I found it really hard to gain my mass back after having the Rona. And now I've got my mass back, and as you can see, it's not water outside the muscle. This is, if there's any water retention, it's inside the muscle. I look great, I feel great, I'm full again, my muscles are responsive when I flex them, they pump up, I feel awesome. The Mass Blast worked, as usual, extremely well for me, and I always get some additional mutation of bringing up lagging body parts. Speaking of lagging body parts, Cody's legs were so small, and he did put an inch on his legs. But what's most amazing is his upper body. Look at the difference in the before and after in Cody's upper body. I mean, it would take him years of training as a natty to obtain what he did in just 9 blasting days. Is it water or is it muscle? It looks like muscle to me. And after the Mass Blast, he's retained these gains. These after pictures are after all the water has come off, and he's still up 31 pounds. Elon Muscular,
that is amazing.
30 pounds of mass. The after video was taken after all the water came off and after most of the drugs are out of the system, so you can see what his permanent new muscle is. Shockingly, his arms grew an inch, and now he looks like a bodybuilder on gear. Years of progress attained in just 9. Notice how much bigger his arms and shoulders and chest are, and his waist stayed the same. So it's obvious he put on muscle, not fat, not water. Also look at his face. Notice that there's no water retention on his face, no bloating, no fat. This is pure lean mass gain of 30 pounds.
So any of these are for building muscle?
Oh, for make more big. So during the Mass Blast, there were a lot of ups and downs between me and Straight Cody. Coming into the Mass Blast, me and Cody he's probably my best friend here in Pattaya, but he really isolated himself from me, especially when he started taking the trend. But I realized that after Cody got into the hospital, I really wanted to reach out to him and make sure that we connected more and make sure that he knew that it was okay and that it wasn't all about the competition. And we got a lot closer after that, and we started to spend more time together and started to do the Mass Blast more collaboratively instead of competitively. Obviously, we were still trying to beat each other, but we figured it was better to work together.
All right, so when I came to Thailand, I met Elon. We actually became really good friends right away. We connected really well right away. During the Mass Blast, we went through some really major shit where, like, I don't know if we were still going to be friends after, but we managed to get through it, and we're actually stronger than ever. So, yeah, hats off to Elon.
Team Cody right here because he is a straight white male. And hell, he's got to win this. Like, he's been working his ass off. Gotta love Cody.
Yeah. Here with the star boy, one of the best bodybuilders in Muscle Factory. Pattaya, Pump, Mr. Thailand. This guy won Mr. Thailand. PCA just got his pro card. And who do you got for the Mass Blast, Pump?
I'm Team Elon, bro. A little bit worried about Cody and the amount of shit that he was taking. So I thought he was going to die at some stage. So I'm glad to see that he's alive and well. He's put on some decent size, so I'm pretty happy to see that. So good job, Cody. Well done.
Thanks.
My favorite is Elon, actually, because I think he got more experience under his belt. And also I've been training for a while. So I was more interested in seeing his results. Someone who already trained before. And I think with Cody, it's very interesting for a beginner to see what you can do and how quickly you can transform your body.
So the Mass Blast is so crazy. In the beginning of the Mass Blast, Elon had way smaller arms than me. But now, he had way bigger arms than me. So in only 9 Mass Blast days, he put on like 1 inch around his arm. It's crazy.
And although Cody put on more than 30 pounds of lean mass during the mass blast, he could have even had a better transformation if he didn't abuse the human growth hormone pathway. You see, he violated the minimum effective dosage, the law of diminishing returns, tolerance, and side effect accumulation. And he took so much growth hormone that he had the side effect of insulin resistance, and he was trying to combat that side effect by just taking more and more insulin to the point where it was catastrophic to his health. If he had started out with the lower growth hormone dosage and maintained the lower growth hormone dosage, he never would have had that problem. Also, he started the IGF and the MGF very late in the transformation, and that's when he had his best progress. If he had started by using the IGF and MGF earlier, along with the lower dosage of the growth hormone and a reasonable dosage of insulin, he may have put on another 5 pounds of additional lean mass.
Okay, so I ended up putting on 31 pounds, which is 1 more pound than Elon. So yeah, part of my strategy was really like, when I heard about the competition, the first thing I did was like, I asked Tony like all the rules, like in private, right? I was like, can I do this? Can I not do that? Can I put on fat? Can I put on water? Like, what kind of weight is this? And Tony said, like, it didn't matter what kind of weight. It was any weight. Hold on a second here. Enough about the mass blast. I gotta eat my McDonald's, all right?
Cody's an ectomorph, and it's hard for him to put on muscle. I knew that eating was going to be his limiting factor. So I told Cody, it doesn't matter whether you put on water, fat, or muscle. Eat as much as possible, and who puts on the most amount of weight wins. Now, you say, well, that's ridiculous. Why would you want to do a mass blast where someone just puts on a bunch of fat? Well, that's because we have a whole bunch of chemistry involved, including growth hormone, insulin, IGF, and MGF, which nutrient partition everything that he eats to go into the muscle. Is it possible for him to gain fat? Yeah, but it's much more likely that he's going to undereat. So I wanted to encourage Cody to eat as much as possible with no fear of gaining fat and let the drugs do their job. I'm interrupting this video to tell you about our new program, Train with Tony Huge, because for years you've been asking, how can I work closer with you? And finally, here's your opportunity. So if you want to biohack your body, you want to build muscle and lose fat in the most effective ways possible, then click the link below to get on a free call to see if we can work together.
And the winner of the 2022 Mass Blast is... So the mass blast was a great success. We put on 20 pounds of lean size, and we had fun doing it.
And Cody is a very gracious winner, and he blessed me with what? I'm going to give Elon half the prize money because we're really good friends. And I want him to really enjoy all these girls, and we're going to enjoy them together tonight. We're on Soi 6, one of the craziest places in Thailand. In fact, one of the craziest places in the world, where there's just girls everywhere. There's so much fun to be had, and it's not even that expensive. Life is really good for the enhanced team. Had a pretty crazy, fun night at Soi 6. And you know what? We were trying to film, and Cat Lady was going completely crazy. What happened, Elon?
She went nuts. She threw the drink. She smashed multiple glasses. She scared the bar girls. Tony was telling her, like, hey, can you help us? Can you help us film this? And she was like, help with what? And she went nuts. Tony had to run out and take care of her.
She even kicked Tony in the bar. She freaked out the girls. She made a huge mess, actually, broke glass. And Tony sent us a message. Well, he was suspecting that she slashed his tires again, and it turned out that she did. So
This is the second time during the mass blast that she slashed his tires.
Yeah.
I'm really sad to say this might be the end of Cat Lady. I mean, these tantrums that she's throwing out of jealousy are getting really out of control. She almost ruined our entire mass blast celebration night by throwing a tantrum out of jealousy, destroying all the glasses on the table, and making a huge scene and trying to kick me in the balls, slashing my motorbike tire, and putting a razor blade in my door lock. And these type of things and these type of extreme sabotage and these threats are happening more frequently. And it's to the point where it might be time to cut Cat Lady.
You know, I'm going to split the money with Elon because I think it's just kind of what I wanted to do anyways from the beginning. Just because we're friends, right? And we're in this together. Like, even though we're competing and like I did anything possible to win, ultimately at the end of the day, we're friends and we work together. And, I just want us both to be happy.
I'm really grateful to Tony Huge for giving me the opportunity to be a part of the Mass Blast. Tony is a mentor of mine. He helps us in so many ways that you don't see on the camera. So for all the people that say he's dangerous or he's using us, it couldn't be further from the truth. Tony Huge I really recommend to anybody that never dealt with Tony to deal with him personally and see what a generous and just gracious person that he is.
Elon came into the mass blast already being on a high dosage steroid cycle and already plateauing. So he violated the pendulum theory on the myostatin pathway in that he didn't come in sensitive and his body was already resisting growth. If he would have come in fresh, like not being on a cycle or being on much lower dosages, he would have had even more lean mass gains during the mass blast. Secondly, when Elon got up about 20 pounds of mass, he already started feeling what a lot of mass blast subjects feel, which is, I'm big enough. I'm satisfied with my physique. I no longer want to be a mass monster. And he ended up toning it back a little bit. He also thought he was already going to win against Cody because Cody was having so many problems with his growth hormone and insulin. He didn't feel like he had to push as hard. Now Elon's diet and his training were good. It was the chemistry that Elon backed off a little bit, the motivation, and the fact that he came into the cycle already being on high dosage steroids. Another successful mass blast under the belt, but I didn't think it was going to be a success. It was a disaster. When Cody went off the rails, taking 7 grams of testosterone and 700 units of insulin and nearly killed himself, I was really nervous that this was going to be the end of mass blasts forever. Can you imagine the negative press from that? But instead, let's appreciate that it was a success. Once we fixed his insulin and growth hormone protocol, and once he course corrected and followed the enhanced muscle matrix, he started making fast progress and healthy progress. And now he's up 30 pounds of lean mass. It would have taken years as a natural to get that much muscle mass. And we did it in just 9 blasting days. Another successful mass blast. Get ready for another mass blast in the future. Guys, keep your questions and comments coming because this is a scientific experiment. We've done this many times before, but every time we do it, we learn new, valuable information to stay on the absolute cutting edge of human biohacking, muscle building, fat loss, health, and longevity. Be swell and swole, friends of freedom, pioneers of human evolution.
Pretty cool, must admit. So, me sitting here watching them go through this, y'all, everybody who says this is BS, y'all have no fucking idea what you're talking about. Honestly, these are the most dedicated individuals, and none as dedicated as Tony Hughes. That man's a damn machine. I'm impressed and quite taken back by how disciplined he is. So anyway, I thought I would just add my 2 cents in there since I'm here with them and watch this whole thing just kind of off the cuff here too. That's why they're not here with me. I just learned how to do a response video or whatever this is. Peace. Love y'all.